Dear students, welcome to the science class. So in the last class we were discussing about the magnetic effect of electric current. In that topic we discussed about the Fleming's left-hand rule. By using the Fleming's left-hand rule we discussed about the working of DC motor. Right. In the last class we discussed about the DC motor. By using the Fleming's left-hand rule, in which direction the rotation of the rectangular rod is going to happen. Because of that thing we are converting electrical energy into the mechanical energy. Right, electrical energy to the mechanical energy. So we already know by the law of conservation of energy, energy neither be created nor be destroyed. So we are converting that electrical energy into the amount of mechanical energy as heat energy or as rotation energy. In the same manner, if you check here, is it possible that by that mechanical energy, is it possible that we are going to convert that mechanical energy into the electrical energy? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. If we check the generators, if we check the turbines, those generators are continuously rotating to produce the electrical energy. Now, if you take the example of the wind turbine, if you take the example of the hydro turbines, hydro power plants, right, from the water, we are going to continuously rotate those turbines. Because of the rotation of the turbines, there is the production of the electricity. So, it is possible that we are going to produce electrical energy from the mechanical energy. So for that reason we are going to see some basics how does electrical energy is going to be produced from the mechanical energy. So that is nothing but we are going to discuss about the electromagnetic induction. So by using the electromagnetic induction only we are producing the electrical energy from the mechanical energy. For that reason first we have to discuss about these things. So before that we should know about the galvanometer. So what is the galvanometer here? Galvanometer is nothing but what? It is a device to check about the current, very minute current. So you already know about the ammeter. Ammeter is going to give us the measurement of the current flowing through a circuit. In the same manner, galvanometer is also going to indicate the amount of current flowing through that circuit, as well as it is going to show the direction of the current. It is going to show the direction of the current. So galvanometer is same like as the magnetic compass. So magnetic compass is going to indicate the direction as north or south due to the deflection of the magnetic needle. In the same manner, this galvanometer has a needle. So by that needle, we are going to check the direction of the electric current. Right? If the current is very minute, if the weak current is also present there, by that weak current is also going to indicate by this galvanometer, by the deflection in the galvanometer. So that galvanometer we are going to use to study about the electromagnetic induction. So just remember it is going to work as the magnetic compass. Whenever a current flows in that circuit, galvanometer is going to get deflected. It is going to get deflected. So let us take an activity now. So we are going to take an coil here, cylindrical coil. Cylindrical coil. So that on that cylindrical coil we are insulating copper wire like this. We are insulating copper wire like this. And this is connected to a galvanometer. This is connected to a galvanometer. Whatever the insulated copper wire is there, it is what it is doing. We are connecting it to the galvanometer. Connecting it to the galvanometer. Right. So near that, we are going to take a bar magnet. Near for that thing, we are going to take a bar magnet. This is north pole, and this is the south pole, and this is the galvanometer, which can be indicated as this. Now, what we are going to do here, let this be the magnet. Let this be the magnet and this be the coil here. So on that magnet we have a north pole as well as we have a south pole. So we already know that always magnetic field is going to move from the north pole to the south pole in the bar magnet. So what I am going to do here, I am going to take this magnet nearer to this coil. Nearer to this coil. So already we know that if any current induced here, if any current present in this coil, it is going to show the deflection in the galvanometer. So we are taking a magnet up to this point. Here is the magnet is there. When you check in the galvanometer, there is no deflection in the galvanometer. That indicates that there is no current present in that coil. So next what I am going to do here, I am going to take this magnet nearer to the coil like this. I am going to take this magnet nearer to the coil. So when I take this magnet nearer to the coil like this, then there is a deflection in this galvanometer. Then there is a deflection in that galvanometer. So again continuously going to take this magnet towards the coil. So there is a deflection in the galvanometer. And I am going to stop that magnet at the point of the coil. So I am going to see that pointer is going to indicate at the 0. So when you stop the movement of this magnet, the pointer is indicating again 0. So that means there is no current. And what I am going to do next here, I am going to take out the magnet again. I am going to move the magnet away from that coil. So when I take out the magnet away from the coil, what is going to happen again? In this case, in the galvanometer, again there will be a deflection. Again there will be a deflection, but that deflection will be in the opposite direction. It will be in the opposite direction. So what does it indicate then? When I take out the magnet from the coil, again there is a current coming in this coil. Again there is a current is coming in this coil. So when I take out this magnet, again there is a current which is coming in this coil. Right. So when I pull the magnet towards the coil, there is a current, it is deflecting. When I stop here, there is no deflection. When I take out the magnet again away from that coil, again there is a deflection. So what it is indicating, when I move the magnet towards the coil, there is a current inducing in this coil. When I take away from, if I take the magnet away from the coil, again there is a deflection that indicates that again there is a current in that coil. So the next case, what I am going to do here, I am going to keep the magnet as it is. I am going to keep the magnet as it is, but in this case I am going to move the coil towards the magnet, away from the magnet, and I am going to keep the coil at a stationary position at a point. Now let this be the coil. So what I am going to do here, I am going to move this coil towards the magnet. I am going to move this coil towards the magnet. So what is happening here? Again there is a deflection in the galvanometer. So when I stop the coil near to the magnet, what is going to happen here? There is no deflection in the galvanometer. So when I take away the coil from the magnet in this manner, then again there is a deflection in the galvanometer. Again there is a deflection in the galvanometer. So what it is indicating here? Again there is a current which is coming in this coil. Current is coming in this coil. So from where does the current is coming here? We don't have the connection here. We don't have the connection to the electrical supply. Is it we have the electrical supply here? No. It is just connected to a coil. And this coil is continuously moved towards the magnet and away from the magnet. In the same manner, this magnet is moved towards the coil and away from the coil. Because of the movement of the magnet or because of the movement of the coil, there is a current which is showing in this coil and which is identified in the galvanometer. In the same manner. Now what I am going to do here, I am going to change the poles here. So this will become south and this will become north. Right, I am going to just change it. So it is north and it is south now. I am going to rotate it, it will become south and it will become north. Again I am going to move this magnet towards the coil here. When I move this magnet towards the coil, what is going to happen? Again it is going to show the deflection. So the deflection is showing in this galvanometer is opposite to the initial deflection which is shown when I take the north pole towards the magnet. So it is opposite, it is reversed here. Again in the same manner, when I take away the magnet away from the coil, again there is a deflection which is opposite to the deflection which is shown when I take north pole away from the coil. So if you see here in all the observation, what is happening here, there is a current is induced in this case. There is a current is induced in this case. Actually, that is not the current which is induced here. That is the potential difference which is inducing here. There is a potential difference which is inducing here. Because of that potential difference, there is a current which is inducing here. That current is shown in the galvanometer by the reflection of the galvanometer. By the reflection of the galvanometer. So, if you check all the observations here, why the current is induced here? We know that current is inducing here. So, first what is happening? First is potential difference is induced. Potential difference is induced. Because of that potential difference induced, current is also getting induced here. Current is induced here. How you came to know that current is induced here? By the reflection of the galvanometer. By the reflection of the galvanometer. By the reflection of the galvanometer. Right. So when does the current is induced here? When I move magnet towards the continuous movement of the magnet towards the coil or away from the coil. In the same manner, when I move the coil towards the magnet away from the magnet, then only the current is induced. But what happens if I keep this magnet stationary at a point near to the coil? Is it current is inducing here? No, in the same manner, when I keep a coil near to the magnet and it is stationary, it is at rest position. Then also if we check there is no deflection in the galvanometer. That means there is no current is induced. So by this we can say that because of the continuous movement of the magnet or by the continuous movement of the coil, there is a current is inducing. There is a current is inducing. So by this we can say that by the movement of the magnet, by the movement of the magnet or by the movement of the coil, there is a current is, there is a potential difference is inducing. There is a potential difference is induced. By that potential difference, current is induced. By that potential difference, current is induced. Current is induced. So by this we can say that by continuous movement of the magnet, there is the induction of the current. There is the induction of the current. So I hope everything is clear here. That is nothing but when I continuously move this thing, when I continuously, if the coil is there, if I continuously move this thing like this, if I do this to and fro motion like this, continuously if I do this motion, there is the continuous reflection in this galvanometer, and each point the galvanometer is going to indicate, it is going to reflect opposite direction. If this is the north pole and this is the south pole, if I take this magnet towards the coil, there is the reflection towards this thing, like this. When I take away, it is going to go in the opposite direction, and there is the reflection is also in the opposite direction. If you continuously do this motion, this galvanometer is going to continuously going to deflect. If I keep this magnet at this point, if I stop the movement of the magnet, there will be no induction in this galvanometer. There will be no deflection in this galvanometer. So by this you can say that due to the continuous movement of the conductor or coil or by the continuous movement of the magnet, there is a current is induced. So by this we can say that we can produce the electric current by the movement of or by the mechanical energy. We can produce the electric current by the mechanical energy. And this thing, whatever the activity we have done here, this thing is first shown by the Michael Faraday. It is first shown by the Michael Faraday. Michael Faraday is the scientist who discovered that by the mechanical energy we can produce the electrical energy like this. So that means we are getting electrical energy here by the mechanical energy. Now you may ask the question, what is the reason here? What will be the reason here why the current is inducing when we rotating the magnet or when we continuously moving the coil? Right? We know that magnet is going to produce the magnetic field. So that means if I keep the magnet here also, it is going to produce the magnetic field, right? So but still it is not producing the electric current. Why? When you keep the magnet here, If I continuously move the magnet to and fro, then only it is producing the current. But when I keep the magnet nearer to a point here, it is not producing the current. Why it is so? Why it is so? If I analyze here, if I analyze this thing only, this activity only. So when I move the magnet nearer to the this thing, nearer to the coil. So if you check here, we already know that magnet is going to produce the magnetic field lines. So this is north and this is south. So these lines are going to be like this. Here the lines will be going to like this. Here the lines will be going to like this. So here this line is going to be like this. Here it is going to be like this. Right. So already we know that magnetic field wave will be larger at the north and south pole. At the pole region, the amount of magnetic field, the intensity of the magnetic field is larger, and the amount of magnetic field lines will be very high there at the pole region. At the pole region. As we go away from the distance, as we go away from the pole region, or as we go away from the magnet, that means the amount of the magnetic field lines is going to get reduced. That is nothing but the magnetic field is going to get reduced. So these things, whatever the magnetic field lines are there, those things are known as the magnetic flux. The amount of magnetic field lines are known as the magnetic flux. Right? If you check here, if I move this thing, so here in this case, at this pole region, there will be more amount of the magnetic field lines. Right? So we go away from this pole region of this magnet. At this point, the amount of magnetic field lines will be lesser. At this point, the magnetic field lines will be lesser. At this point, the magnetic field lines will be lesser. So if you go away from the magnet, there is a decrement in the magnetic field lines. Right? If there is a decrement in the magnetic field lines, what does it indicate? That the magnetic field is going to get decreased. That is nothing but magnetic flux is going to get decreased. Now if you keep here, if I keep one object here, what does it indicate? That here the magnetic field lines are same. That is nothing but magnetic flux is also going to be same. It is also going to be the same. Right? Now if you take away this thing, what is going to happen? Here there is the change in the magnetic field line. So the magnetic field lines are getting decreased here. In the same manner, if you take this magnet towards this magnetic material, what is going to happen? Here the magnetic field lines are going to get increased. So there is the increment in the magnetic field. In the same manner, if I take a magnet here and if I continuously move this magnet towards the coil, so what is happening here? When I move this magnet towards the coil, there is the increase in the magnetic flux. There is the increase in the magnetic flux. In the same manner, when you take out this magnet away from the coil, there is the decrease in the magnetic flux. That is nothing but the amount of magnetic field lines are getting decreased. The amount of magnetic field lines are getting decreased. In the same manner, if you take again towards the coil, again there is increment in the magnetic field. If I take away from that magnet coil, again there is a decrement in the magnetic field lines. So if you continuously do this thing, what is happening here? There is the change in the magnetic flux. That is nothing but there is the change in the magnetic field lines. Because of that change in the magnetic field lines, there is the current is inducing. There is a current is inducing. So for the induction of the current, what we require here, in the magnetic field, there will be change. There will be change, or there will be change in the magnetic flux. Because of the change in the magnetic flux, then only it is possible that we are going to induce the current. We are going to induce the current. If I keep, already we know that we have magnetic field lines here, that is nothing but magnetic flux is there. So if you keep here like this only, is it possible that it is going to induce the current? No. Why? See here, in this case, at this point, the magnetic field lines are equal. They are constant here towards this point. Right? In the same manner, the magnetic flux is also not changing. If the magnetic flux is not changing here, that is not possible. Then here there will be a current is going to get induced. It is not possible that current is going to get induced. So here in this case, current is inducing because in the change in the magnetic flux. That is nothing but there is the change in the magnetic field lines, variation in the magnetic field lines. Because of the variation of the magnetic field lines, there is the variation in the magnetic flux. Because of the variation in the magnetic flux, there is the variation in the magnetic field. Because of that thing, there is a current is inducing. That is, current is inducing. If the current is constant or if the magnetic field is constant, then it is not possible that current is going to get induced. So for that reason, we can give another point here. Another point here. Why the current is inducing here? Current is inducing due to the current is inducing due to the change in the magnetic flux. Change in the magnetic flux. That is nothing but magnetic field lines. That is nothing but magnetic field lines. Current is inducing due to the magnetic field lines. Again, if you take here this thing, take this coil, and here we have the magnet here at this position, initial position. So the magnetic field lines are going like this. Let us take that 4 magnetic field lines are coming from the north pole and they are entering into the coil. So see here, if I move this magnet away from the coil, what is going to happen? See here, only 2 lines are coming, the 2 lines are getting outside. So if you check here, the amount of magnetic field or magnetic field lines which are present at this coil is getting reduced at this point. Because of this reduction, there is the current is going to get induced in this coil. Induced in this coil. So I hope everything is clear now. Why the current is inducing here? Because of the movement of the coil or because of the movement of the magnet. So what is happening because of the movement of the magnet? There is the change in the magnetic field lines. That is nothing but magnetic flux. Because of that, there is the current is getting induced. Right. So this is about the induction of the current due to the magnet. So next we are going to see about the electromagnetic induction. So let us take 2 coils named as coil 1 and coil 2. So here we are using the copper wire which is insulating on a non-conducting material. So both the coils are insulating on the non-conducting material and there is no connection between here. Since it is non-conducting material, if I provide the current to this conductor, then it is not going to carry that current here. Right. So here we are insulating the copper wire on a non-conducting material. Say the number of turns here up to 50 to 100. So we have to make number of turns 50 to 100 which is insulating in this phase and let this be the name of that coil as coil 1. In the coil 2 again we are insulating the copper wire on non-conducting material, same non-conducting material, and the number of turns will be more than 50 to 100. It will be equal to 50 to 100. Right. In the same manner, if we check here, we are connecting the first coil to a electric supply. And we are connecting the second coil to the galvanometer. Right. So we already know that we have to remember the previous classes. Right, that nothing but what is the magnetic induction, how the current is going to get induced by the magnetic field. We have to remember that thing, as well as we have to remember the first thing, that nothing but current carrying conductor is going to produce magnetic field. We already know about the electromagnet as well as we know about the solenoid. So solenoid is going to behave like a bar magnet, or electromagnet is going to behave like a bar magnet. That is nothing but current carrying conductor is going to produce magnetic field. So by using those 2 points, we are going to analyze these things. Now what is going to do here? I am going to switch on the key here. So when I switch on the key, what is going to happen? There is the current starts to flow in this coil. So this coil is known as the primary coil. This coil is nothing but what? It is known as the primary coil. Primary coil is nothing but what? It is attached to a supply, and this is the secondary coil. It is nothing but what? It is the secondary coil. So when I switch on the key here, what is going to happen? There is the current which is going to flow in this coil. There will be flow of electric current in this coil. So we already know that the flow of electric current in a coil is going to get induced magnetic field. So therefore it is going to induce the magnetic field, right? If it is inducing the magnetic field, it is going to induce the magnetic field lines also. So it is going to induce the magnetic field lines. because of that magnetic field lines, because of that magnetic field, there is the current which is going to induce. Because of that thing, there is a deflection in the galvanometer. There is a deflection, sudden deflection in the galvanometer. So galvanometer is going to get deflected and going to come back to its initial position within few seconds, within few milliseconds. Suddenly, it's going to go like this, and again going to come to the initial position when a current starts to flow from this thing. So that means if it is deflecting, what does it indicate? That when current starts to flow in this coil, there is a current going to induce in this coil, secondary coil. Sudden induce of the current. Again it is going to stop. Then what I am going to do here, I am going to switch off the key here. I am going to switch off the key. When I switch off the key, again there will be a deflection of the, sudden deflection of the magnetic needle, or sudden deflection in the galvanometer when I switch off the key. Sudden deflection of the galvanometer, again it is going to come to its initial position. Again what I am going to do here, again I am going to switch on the key. Again there is a deflection. Again I am going to switch off the key. Again there is a deflection. So what does it indicate? That because of the current which is going to flow in this primary coil, because of this thing, there is the current which is inducing in the secondary coil. Secondary coil. So when I switch on, when I switch off, stop on, stop on, so stop on, stop start, stop start. At the start also there is a deflection, at the stop also there is a deflection. If I continuously start this key, at the start only there will be deflection. If I continuously switch on this key, after the starting it is not going to get deflected. At the time of the switch offing this key, at that time also there is a deflection of the galvanometer. So what does it indicate here? When I start, there is the current is going to get induced in the secondary coil. When I stop also, there is the current is going to get induced in the secondary coil. So why it is happening? If you remember the last section, that's nothing but whatever we are discussing about the induction of the current. So what is happening here? At the start of the key, what is happening? It is going to produce a magnetic field. It is going to produce a magnetic field. Because of the production of the magnetic field, initially there is no magnetic field here, but when I start here, it is going to get some magnetic field. So there is the change in the magnetic field, right? Because of that change in the magnetic field, it is going to get deflected. Right? If you continue switch on this key, what is going to happen? It is going to continuously produce same magnetic field, constant magnetic field. If it is producing the constant magnetic field, initially it is going to deflect, after that it is not going to deflect. Right, in the same way when I switch off the key, what is going to happen? Whatever the magnetic field which is present here, it is going to get reduced, it is going to get stopped. When it is going to get reduced, when it is going to stop here, what is going to happen? Again there is the change in the magnetic field, or there is the change in the magnetic flux. Because of that change in the magnetic field or magnetic flux, again there is the current which is going to get induced in this galvanometer. Again if you continuously switch on and switch off the key, what is going to happen? There is continuous production of the magnetic field, there is a reduction in the magnetic field. Production of the magnetic field, reduction of the magnetic field. Due to this continuous motion, what is going to happen? There is the current which is going to induce in the secondary coil. It is going to get induced in the current is going to get induced in the secondary coil. So here if you check here the current is getting induced because of the electricity. So because of that thing, it is known as the electromagnetic induction. It is known as the electromagnetic induction. So induction is nothing but what? It is the induced current. Induction of the current. Introduction of the current. So why it is happening? When a current carrying coil continuously changing its magnetic field here. When a current carrying coil continuously changing its magnetic field, in the second coil there is the induction of the current. So that induction of the current is nothing but what? It is known as the electromagnetic induction. It is known as the electromagnetic induction. Right. So if we take two coils here, in one coil there is a continuous change in the magnetic field due to its current. Due to change in the current, there is the induction of the current in the second coil. So that is nothing but what? Electromagnetic induction. So just remember here one thing, there should be change in the magnetic field, then only there will be induction of the electric current. If there is no change in the magnetic field, it is not possible that we are going to produce the electric current. We are not going to produce the electric current. For that reason, continuously we are switch on this key and switch offing this key. Switch on this key, switch offing this key. Right, because of that there is the reflection in this galvanometer, continuous reflection in this galvanometer. So I hope everything is clear here about this thing. In the next class we are going to study about more about how we are going to increase the amount of current, as well as we are going to discuss about the Fleming's right hand rule to check the direction of the current induced. So up to that point, thank you, take care, stay well, stay home.